about me, I once played Mike Wazowski in a production of Monsters Inc. at my theater camp in my hometown when I was like 13. And it was a great time. I wore a toilet seat cover with an eye on it, like a fake one, obviously. So, iconic. So needless to say, I love Monsters Inc. So I am delighted to bring to you 10 more reasons to watch Monsters Inc. tonight after you're done watching this video, because that's exactly what I'm gonna do, because I spent all morning on this. Welcome back, most amazing fam. I'm your host, Rachel Fisher, and today we review our list of top 10 terrifying Monsters Inc. Easter eggs that will change everything. Will they? We'll see. Stay tuned at the end because we will be doing comment shoutouts. Number 10, reminders. Who is the most imitated character in the Monsters Inc. franchise? If you said Sully or Mike, you are vastly misinformed because it is obviously Roz, voiced by Bob Peterson, the slow-moving silent hero of the film who puts the fear of God into Mike when he doesn't remember to file his paperwork on time. I think we can all relate to Mike in that moment, but even more so when someone discovered these Easter eggs. In Mike's locker, there's not only one note, but several notes reminding Mike to file his paperwork before he leaves. Who hasn't set a dozen alarms, a dozen reminders for themselves to do the thing they always forget to do, and still manage to forget to do it? I love how subtle this is and makes Mike even more of a relatable character, and it's kind of terrifying how much I relate to this moment, if I'm being honest. Number 9. 2319! We've got a 2319! This next one is so subtle, but when someone finally realized it, their TikTok post about it blew up. Whenever a Monsters Inc. fan hears the words 2319, your reactionary response might be to like duck and cover or check for a white sock on the back of your shirt. Poor George has the worst time out of anybody in this movie for that very reason. But did you know that 2319 has a very clever meaning? TikTok user I Am Fire made the realization that the reason it's 2319 is because W is the 23rd letter of the alphabet and the 19th letter is S. WS, which translates to white sock. Very, very clever. You got us. Number 8, Finding Nemo. Another incredibly popular Pixar film was of course Finding Nemo. The story of a father and his friend Dory trying to track down his son Nemo across the great wide ocean. But interestingly enough, Finding Nemo was released in 2003 while Monsters Inc. was released in 2001. But if you look carefully in the Monsters Inc. film, you will spot the very first version of Finding Nemo in a kind of like Where's Waldo situation. Boo hands a toy version of Marlin to Sully close to the end of the movie when he's trying to leave. It's about 1 hour, 18 and 43 seconds in to be exact. So yes, I totally double checked this. I had Disney Plus again in the corner because of course. A clownfish also appears at the sushi restaurant on a painting behind the octopus chef while he's doing his thing. So yeah, that's right. They set up Easter eggs for their next project before anyone would even pick up on the details because they planned so far ahead. Mad respect, man. Mad respect. Number 7, toys in the story. They've predicted the future, but of course Pixar continues to celebrate the past and where they came from. The Toy Story franchise is arguably one of their strongest series of films they've ever made. So any opportunity they have to add in a secret reference here and there, they are going to take it. If you are a Toy Story fan, you may have spotted Andy's wallpaper as one of the screens Randall camouflages behind before he begins his work. Or at the end, you might have spotted Boo picking up our favorite cowgirl, Jessie, and handing her to Sully right before she hands the Marlin over. But that is not all, because number 6, Sid's room. Moving on to number 6, we have a secret reference to Sid in Toy Story. Speaking of Toy Story references, this next one blows my mind! At 15 minutes 54 seconds in, make sure to pause, like really quickly. I had to do it as soon as I could. You know the scene where the one monster gets scared by one of the kids he visits? Well, guess who that kid was? Sid. The evidence at the time mentioned, you can see a Paul Bunyan poster on the wall behind the door, which is exactly the same poster that Sid had in his room in Toy Story. Coincidence? I think not. Pixar does everything for a reason. Of course they would make that reference because honestly, what kid would be scary enough to scare a scare monster? Answer: Sid. Number 5, When Mike Met Sully. When Harry Met Sally is one of my favorite films. I love it so much. I watch it every year around New Year's because, you know, that last scene. Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, Carrie Fisher, witty dialogue, a fantastic cafe scene, all wrapped up in an incredible love story. Like what more could you want? Famous comedian Billy Crystal is the voice behind Mike Wazowski, and the Pixar animators were obviously a huge fan of his work, and especially this movie since they made a reference to it in the film. Billy does a hilarious segment in When Harry Met Sally called The White Man's Overbite, which makes its appearance in the film. After Mike does his first comedy routine at the end of the film, he comes out and does a little dance all while doing The White Man's Overbite, so classic little nod there. Number 4. The Pixar staff. It would be pretty cool to see your name in the credits of a Pixar movie, but what about in the actual film? When Pixar is looking to fill in some blank spots, they don't just pick something random. If there is a way to celebrate their team and company, they take it. In the scare hall in the film, there's a massive chart that shows the arrangement of the best scares in the biz. Well, it turns out that most of those names are actual employees at Pixar. Joe Rampt and Bud Lucky were story artists, Jonas Rivera worked in the art department, Bob Peterson voiced Roz and worked on the story, Bob Pauls was the production designer, and Daniel Gerson, of course, wrote the screenplay. So some cute little nods there. Considering how vast and intricate the world of Pixar has become, I think it's time they had like their own theme park. Like, I know there's stuff at Disneyland, but they need their own. Like, they need their own country of just Pixar life. Let us know in the comments if you think that's a good idea, and also while you're there, give us a like, comment, subscribe, you know, let us know you like us. The last 3 of the list. Number 3, the trailer park. At the end of the film, while Sully, Boo, Mike, and Randall are traversing across the closet door galaxy, we come across this very familiar trailer. Have you figured out where you've seen it before? Well, if you're a massive fan of A Bug's Life, then it will be easy to spot. This rundown trailer makes an even further rusted appearance in A Bug's Life. But that's not all. Look beside it. Looks like we have figured out who might be the pizza truck driver from Toy Story, because parked right beside it is, you guessed it, the Toy Story pizza truck. The attention to detail is astounding. Number 2, Hidden City Cafe. For viewers watching Monsters Inc. for the first time or second time, your attention will probably be on the main characters, as they should be. But for Pixar animators, there are 100 details that mean 10 times more to them than we will ever realize. Hidden City Cafe was the birthplace of many of Pixar's most popular films like A Bug's Life, Finding Nemo, WALL-E, and of course Monsters Inc. Andrew Stanton, John Lasseter, Pete Docter, and Joe Rampt, RIP, used to go there for lunch to gather and outline ideas for the next big thing. The cafe even collected Pixar memorabilia and decorated their space with it. It used to be right around the corner from the original Pixar headquarters, but sadly the cafe has since closed. But Pixar found a way to honor this place forever by featuring it in their films. Sometimes it's written on a small license plate, but the largest reference is in Monsters Inc. when Sully and Mike walk past it. There's a little monster sweeping up after some customers. These films are literally dripping with nostalgia, and the love that goes into them is endless. And last but not least, the real name. There is a huge reason as to why this is number 1. I found this out while researching this list, shared it with our team, and that blew all their minds. Didn't it ever bother you that we never found out Boo's real name? Well, joke's on you because it's in there. It just turns out Boo was the only one who knew it. In the scene where Boo is drawing, there's a name written on one of the papers and it says Mary. Boo's name is Mary Gibbs. It was first revealed more obviously in a book that was based on the film that her real name is Mary Gibbs. But the shock doesn't end there. Mary Gibbs is the actual name of the voice actress who played her in the film. So just like, circle of life. So perfect. I love that. And that was our list of top 10 terrifying Monsters Inc. Easter eggs that will change everything, and now it's time for our comment shoutouts. And these are literally, I'm fresh, I haven't even read them. Kyle Brown says, hey, good posting, and I dropped a shout out for you, Rachel, over on Bumblebee because I'm subscribed there too because of you and the way you do a countdown while totally smiling. So from America, checkmark, thumbs up, smiley face, sunglasses, peace, and a wave. Hi Kyle Brown, thank you so much for your support, you wonderful human being. Thank you for showing some love at Bumblebee, and for those of you who haven't checked it out yet, go for it. It's a fun time. Timo Porter says, yo, Rachel, what do you want to be asked to exterminate? Well, actually that shirt I think he's referencing is a Doctor Who reference, and there's like a Dalek somewhere on the shirt that I won't reveal because that's my secret. But essentially it's a Doctor Who reference, and yeah, because it's the Daleks and they're like, exterminate. Wes Gunton says, gotta say Rachel's eyebrows are almost as thick as mine. Looks like we both have really nice eyebrows. I know, they're kind of awesome. I like them. People draw on their eyebrows. I got these for free. So here we go. The Notorious NOE says, did anyone else laugh along with Rachel after she said Uranus? So funny. I hope you did. That's great. That joke will never get old. Why? Because we're always gonna be 4-year-olds. Spiritually, and I think that's okay. John Greenway says, I don't know what Rachel done smoked, but let me get a hit. Like this if you think both hosts are beautiful. LOL. I mean, I am 100% sober while I do my videos, but whatever you're talking about, it's legal now. Canada, baby. And that's all the time we have for our comment shoutouts. If you liked today's video, let us know in the comments. And if you want a comment shoutout, you know what to do. Show some love or say something funny. We'll spot you out. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher, and until next time, take care.